Hey, welcome everyone, all our rebels out there for another episode of Crack Dice Gaming. You have here Captain Shekaka, and we also have with us.
Frank and Chewy.
And
Hey,
Chicky D.
all right, all right. So hey, we're gonna be talking about some Star Wars Unlimited tonight again. We had a new spoiler today, Director Krennic. Maybe we'll just
Trash.
start with Krennic right off the bat.
Trash.
Trash.
Yeah, It-
Trash.
yeah. So
That's really all
if
I
you
got
haven't
to
seen
say about it.
if you haven't seen him yet, he's a 5 cost character with
He's a
uh,
he's a leader.
leader, yeah, with two attacks, seven defense. He gets +1 to each friendly damage unit. So when he takes damage, he gets +1, I assume. Then when he attacks, he heals 2 damage from your base. When he's on his I don't know, deployed side or whatever, each friendly
Undeployed.
Trash.
undeployed, yeah. Each friendly unit gets +1 +0. So, and if you, so like I said, if you control 5 or more resources, you can deploy this leader. So yeah, he's pretty trash. I think the worst part of this card is the artwork is just horrendous.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like it's
pretty bad.
getting worse.
It's pretty bad.
I,
Mm-hmm.
I, I just really want to know the kindergartner they're hiring to draw this up. That's what I want to know.
My question is, why don't we get Krennic with like a bunch of Death Troopers in the background or something? Like you know the scene from Rogue One when they're walking towards Galen's little hut thing, and there's a whole big background with the Imperial shuttle with him and the Death Troopers. Like why not do some of that stuff? I would
This looks
drop
like
that.
the this looks like the teenage version of Director Krennic or something. I don't know. It doesn't even look like
Yeah, he
the
looks really young.
yeah.
Like
I don't get it.
he
I don't
doesn't
get it.
look old at all.
No, I don't know why they didn't make him old. Like, yeah, it's stupid. Like, why they make him 14 years old and basically, I guess he's commanding all the building of the Death Star still. I don't know. He's still a director, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. The artwork just. If I haven't said it once yet,
Yeah,
I think
some
the
of the
artwork in
art.
this game is just horrendous. It's garbage.
Yeah,
The Leia character looks like an anime character. I'm like, it doesn't look anything like Carrie Fisher whatsoever. I'm like, how in the heck? Like you just can't take some
Leader or
anime.
the
you
unit?
talking about the
The
unit or
Which
the
leader.
one?
leader? The leader?
Oh, the leader. Yeah, she looks totally just like some stupid anime character. It's like they literally just took a bun, took Carrie Fisher's clothes, put it on an anime character, and slapped it on a card. Like, come on, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
And what about the You're My Only Hope card? Look at Leia on that. She looks
Oh, jeez.
Asian. Not that there's anything wrong with Asians.
No,
oh,
no,
this artwork is really
but
bad.
Princess Leia
but
is not
but
Asian.
she's not Asian. Yeah, yeah, exactly. She looks more like Rose Tico than she does Princess Leia.
Hey, you want to talk about
Yeah,
the experience card too? That's a pretty good one.
yeah. Go over that.
Yeah, yeah. Let's take a look at that
Oh my
one.
goodness. How is this Luke? It looks like the feminine. I don't know, it looks like a woman's face with a messed up haircut and on sort of Luke's body. I don't know. Like it's. I don't. It doesn't even look. It doesn't
It's
look
not.
anything like Mark Hamilton. Nothing like him at all.
Hamilton.
Or
Mark
Hamill.
Hamill.
Mark
Yeah,
Hamill.
come on, man. Come on, come on.
Sorry, sorry.
Even like the
Um,
surprise strike card. I mean, like,
Yeah.
really?
I don't know. This artwork is
I mean, if
garbage.
you zoom in even onto Cassian's gun, if you zoom all the way in onto it, that
Yeah.
just
yeah.
does. It looks like a Nerf gun.
Yeah, why is it blue too?
I
Was
know
his
it's
gun
got.
blue?
It's like no, it's not. If you look up
I know, but yeah.
That that's I don't
it's
know. It's super goofy. Well,
I
and
don't
like
know.
and like the Leo Organa that is the rebel official ground unit. I mean, she's got like man hands. It's like man hands with a bad bad pedicure or something like that. I'm like, what the?
I mean, manicure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think
manicure.
those
Yeah,
the nails look nice. The
Yeah, you
nails,
know,
her
it's
fingernails,
yeah, but
they're
look at it. Look at
shining.
like how has she got like hands that are like I don't know, massive man hands?
Yeah, no, she does have some massive, like oh, what's excavators on her there? That's what they're called.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know who's
She
doing the
could dig
artwork
it.
for this, but it's
I think
garbage.
she dug the trenches on Hoth with those hands.
well,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, and the funny thing is, so Surprise Strike, Director Krennic's like 85 years old. in the surprise strike. But then somehow Director Krennic, gets young again on the leader card. Like, the heck is with
Hey,
that?
man.
Hey, look, it's just
I don't know.
some of the artwork they had to come up with. I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
It's,
Yeah.
I
I know.
like
Well,
I'm pretty sure they're hiring high schoolers or like kindergartners or something like that to do this artwork. Like,
yeah,
I
it's
think maybe
not.
FFG's in such a bad place right now. They really can't hire any good artwork guys, and so they have to just take whoever they can. So they probably go into local high schools and saying, "Hey, can you draw Director Krennic for me?" And then whatever they get, they get. That's the only thing I can figure is happening here.
Yeah, it's
yeah, well, aside from the artwork, if the game's really if it's a really good game, if it's really compelling, immersive game, we can put subpar artwork out of the way. But that's something
yeah.
I think we really want to hit on this podcast is a bunch of concerns we have about the game, even when there's only like 20 or 30 cards released. One of probably my biggest gripes with the game in like the month or two that's been spoiled is it just doesn't seem to make sense. They talked about on their initial stream, their first look stream, how they wanted to find a good balance between simulationist and abstract. And they want it to make pretty good sense, but you can't just bog the game down with rules to where it's, just like the movies. But immediately I noticed so many just inconsistencies and flaws that are just totally whack. For example, Luke Skywalker can defend the base, the Death Star. Why is Luke Skywalker defending the Death Star? Yoda can heal the Death Star. First of all, why would Yoda heal the Death Star? Second, how? How does Yoda heal a Death Star? Can someone explain that?
No,
Yeah,
that's all
I
you,
think it's
man.
just I don't know. I think these bases are stupid, and that it seems like there's cards then, like for example, you can play a base with a rebel aspect card or something like that with a rebel aspect on it, and then put a bunch of rebel aspect cards in your deck. That's just really stupid. Like I don't understand that. Like it doesn't seem to make sense. Like
Well, I don't
where's the
think
good?
there's a base. There's no base that's gonna have they said there's no base that's gonna have the heroism aspect and the villainy aspect. It's just gonna be the other four aspects, I'm pretty sure.
Is it
What?
really going
So
to be? Okay.
blue, green, red, and yellow then?
Yeah, I think they said that on their last stream.
Oh, did they? Okay. Well, still, like
Yeah.
I mean, you can still put rebel cards in your Vader deck or whatever. I mean, it's just I don't know. It seems to me it's just kind of dumb.
Not heroism cards, no.
Well, yeah, not heroism ones.
Not the
Well,
hero
you
ones.
you can put it in the deck actually. You just have to pay an extra
Exactly.
aspect
Exactly. That's
penalty,
what I thought. That's what I thought.
which I
Yeah.
think is dumb
Jeez,
too.
so yeah, I'll play
Yeah.
Counselor Security Force with Darth Vader.
Pretty much.
Yeah, or Yoda. Yoda can fight side by side with Darth Vader in this game.
Exactly.
Like that
Exactly.
makes no sense.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could put Darth Vader's lightsaber on Luke Skywalker. That makes total sense.
So
Yeah,
I
you
only
can
have
do
like
that.
we only have 20 something cards for each deck, but we'll be playing some so be looking for some Cracked Dice Gaming. We'll be playing some TTS on that and showing some of the actual gameplay with the cards that are happening right
Yeah.
now. I think to me the gameplay is part of the problem too. This having the space and the it feels like they basically took everything that was Star Wars Destiny and said, okay, we're going to make this game the exact opposite. So whatever Destiny did, we'll do the exact opposite. So however it played in Destiny, it'll be the exact opposite, which is just such a stupid way to make a game. I mean, that's literally what they did. So, like for example, with the two lanes, instead of having like with Destiny, you had all your supports out, and then you had your characters and da 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 da. Well, now they have these stupid two lanes, which feels like you're playing two different separate games, and
Yeah.
and it just feels it's just such a I don't know. To me, I hate it. I hate the two lane thing. I would much rather you had just built a game without like I think it was Sir Christopher said, you know what, if you want to play a space thing, go play X-wing,
Armada.
yeah, or Armada or whatever, and I think I think he's right on with that. Get rid of the space, just have ground troops, and that X game would be amazing. I think in some ways, still
I
a lot of
agree.
issues with it, but I think to me those two different lanes are just ridiculous. I absolutely I dislike that in so many ways.
You see, I
Yeah,
don't. I don't.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind. I don't. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't mind it if they actually did it correctly. Like, I just don't know how this is all gonna, because it just feels bad. Because, like, for example, if somebody wants to all play space, say your opponent all wants to just play space, and you just want to play ground, well, then it just kind of feels bad. And even like when they said, or when they were talking about how like ground units won't attack air units, it's like, okay, but ground units in Star Wars do attack air units, and air units do attack ground units. I mean, you just do. I mean, when you know an X-wing like on in episode, what is it, episode 7, I think it is, when they come over the little lake kind of thing and they attack Maz's castle. I mean, like, you know,
Yeah,
I don't know. I just think it's
well,
kind of stupid. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, it just well, another problem with the dual system is they mention on their latest stream, I forget what it's called. I'm referencing all their streams because a lot of what they say now, FFG, we still want that spoiler ditty, but a lot of
yeah,
what
we
you
do
say
want
on
that
the
spoiler. We do
streams
want that spoiler.
is not very encouraging. They said something to the effect of, "Oh well, the ground units are going to be stronger in stats than the space units," and I think the Sentinel keyword can kind of sort of negate that difference. I hope so. I'm assuming. Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe there won't be any space units with Sentinel. Like, if I play all ground units and you play all space units, I'm probably going to win because my stats on my ground units are better than your space
Yeah.
units.
Well,
So
Yeah.
that's another big issue.
I mean, even like you look at the TIE fighter compared to the Death Star Stormtrooper. I mean, you know, hey, it's just, I mean, FFG, honestly, genuinely, as of right now, what is the point in me playing space units? I just want to know. I'm just curious. Like,
Yeah.
what's
Mhm.
the point for me to play space units? They cost more. They have crappier stats. Now, granted, some of them have, I guess, abilities like the Imperial Interceptor, but like, I mean, an Alliance X-wing, it's okay. Gets one shotted by a Death Star. Well, you know, if they were able to attack each other, it would get one shotted by a Death Star Stormtrooper. I mean, the wing leaders. I mean, I don't know. It's not very good either.
Yeah, yeah, and I wonder if people are gonna spam stuff out too, like, like, for example, the Death
Oh
Star
yeah.
Stormtrooper, it does 3 damage, that's crazy, 3
Yeah.
damage, you could spam a bunch of those out, like, and the reality
Oh
is, okay,
yeah,
if I spam out 4 of those and you
it's
spam
12
out
damage.
one cell block guard or one this or one that or whatever, I mean, okay, yeah, I can kill your one guy, you kill my guy, but then I have 2 guys left, and then I'm spamming out 4 other guys in the next round, I mean, granted, you only get 2 cards around, but if there's ways to, I mean, there are ways to draw
But
cards, I'm sure.
still, I mean, I'm sure they'll have stuff to do that.
It
I'm
seems
I'm
like,
sure
sure
they
they
because,
will.
will.
So
yeah, well, Tarkin spams, there's the card that spams, the Vader card that's, I'm your father, that's, helps you spam out cards. I don't
Yeah.
know. It seems like, but I think to me, like, again, I hate the two system. I feels like I'm playing two different games. I just don't like it. I don't like it. I think it would have been better. I didn't really like the support side of Destiny, to be quite honest, and I think it got so ridiculous and so stupid right away. Like, as soon as
Yeah.
Jeremy took over, it started getting really, really stupid. And so I'm not really excited about Jeremy's involvement in this game, to be quite honest. But
amen.
to me, like, I think when they came out with Mega Blaster Troopers and
Oh, that
all
was
these
some
other
trash.
entourages and all this, I mean, it was just so ridiculous. It got so stupid so quick that everybody's playing all these spammy
Yeah.
kind of, like, throwing out 15 support kind of decks that and then there wasn't enough to then we had very little to actually get rid of supports, so they were out there. There was nothing you could do. You're just going to take the damage, other than you could remove their dice potentially or something like that. But I don't know, and it feels like we're kind of back to that, where, okay, we're playing these two different games where now we're going to be able to spam out all these maybe space supports, and if I focus more on troops, I'm going to lose because you're going to put about a bunch of space supports out, maybe potentially, and the thing is, like, you can throw one sentinel out every turn, maybe one or two sentinels out every turn, and kind of shut down the ground units. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but
Yeah, but I mean,
I think
Sentinel units cost what, 3 usually?
yeah.
The ones that we have
yeah.
right now.
Shoot. Yeah.
So I
Well,
mean,
yeah, but three. But once you get up to, say you get up to once you get up to four, You can play a sentinel and a space unit every round.
Not
And
necessarily.
the 5 you can play 2 space units, and then and 6 you can place 3 space units in a sentinel.
Well, if you get
If you're
all
playing,
those one-cost TIE fighters
yeah.
and you
Yeah, I
have
know
the
that's what
cards
I'm
for all that, yeah.
saying. I don't know. It'll be interesting to
Yeah.
see what happens. I just don't like the. I just wish they would have focused on one or the other. I just don't like the two.
Oh,
I mean,
I think ground's gonna
maybe
be
it'll turn out
overpowered.
maybe it'll turn out to be really fun. Maybe it'll turn out to be really cool. Maybe we'll enjoy it a lot more. We think we are going to.
Yeah.
But at this point, I don't enjoy it. I mean,
Well,
what do we?
I think one of the biggest problems with the space and the ground, separate lanes and stuff, and is the mulligan system. So like let's say you get a bad first hand, right? And
Oh
maybe you have a couple cards you want, but overall it's not a very good hand. You got, a bunch of high cost stuff that's better mid to late game. And so you throw all of it back, right? And let's say your deck is, split like 40% ground units, 40% space units, 10% upgrades, and 10% events. And then you just happen to get a horrible draw where you get, four space units and an upgrade and an event,
Yeah,
and your opponent gets all ground units. Well, you're basically done because they're going to
oh
throw
yeah,
out a bunch of ground units and
yeah.
oh
they're
yeah,
just going to steamroll you because those
absolutely.
stats are higher. And the mulligan's just such a harsh mulligan because you can't even keep, the one or two cards you want to keep. You got to throw it all back and hope you don't get screwed over. I
Oh
see
yeah.
a lot of potential for getting screwed over with the mulligan in this game.
Oh yeah,
Well,
and it
yeah.
just feels bad.
Obviously it happened because like I can't believe they said on one of their podcasts, recent podcasts, it was the last one that they said some guy, one of
I
the guys
know
said,
the first
A
one.
first look.
yeah, they or it was the first one, yeah, that's right. They said, "Oh, I finished the game in 7 minutes." I'm like, "What? How's that fun?" I mean, seriously, like, how's that fun?
Yeah,
Like, if you're their
Yeah.
opponent, and obviously they spammed out so much crap so quickly
I bet you threw out a
that
bunch of Death
they
Star
just
stormtroopers.
probably, and they destroyed you. Yeah, with Vader's lightsabers. Oh, so I'm going to get to that in a minute, uh, uh,
Hmm.
they spammed out so many troopers so quick that all of a sudden, like in 7 minutes, you realize how fast that is, right? Like, I mean, really, I mean, when you're looking at, I mean, granted, if you're practiced with the games, you're practiced with your deck, you can go a little faster. I get all that kind of stuff. Cards you're going to throw down, what cards you're going to keep in your hand and whatnot. But the reality is, still, all of that takes time, and to do a game in 7 minutes, that's flying. That means that you did something so quick, and to do 30 damage to a base. If that's what's we're gonna get, I mean, because so like I'm thinking most of these, like when you go into a tournament like play, you
Yeah.
probably have a half an hour. Games would probably be half an hour ish,
Oh, you
maybe
could be
maybe a
sitting
little,
there forever.
maybe 45 minutes, and you're done in basically 5 minutes, and
I
then
don't know.
you're sitting there for 25 minutes because some guy spammed out. I mean, that's a horrible play experience. Like if that's really what this game is, then it's broken before it even starts. Come on.
I think a though because Destiny was what half an hour per game, or was it 35? I think it was half an hour, right? Or 35?
35 was the time limit.
I think it was, yeah,
35
it was
minutes.
30 or 35. And I mean, Destiny obviously took longer. I think they should lower it down to like 20 minutes a game. Like, especially if people are finishing in 7 minutes. Like,
Yeah,
and
but I mean, the problem is that I'm
you're
sure
still
there's gonna be
waiting
decks
for
that
13 minutes. It sucks.
well, I mean, the problem is number one, not everybody's going to play as fast as you are, and if you
No.
put it at 20 minutes, the problem is that just kicks all the new players out, so they can't read the cards, they can't,
Yeah.
that's just stupid then, because like okay, new player, because that happened at every tournament. There was always somebody's girlfriend that came that never played it before, somebody's kid or something like that had never played the game before, and they're sitting down with a deck they've never seen before, and they're reading the
Yeah.
cards and they're trying to figure out how to play it. Like if you're doing a 20-minute game, that they might as well not even play. You'll never get it done in 20 minutes. At that point, it'd be like, you know what, you can, we're done. Like
Yeah.
we'll never get through this
With
game.
with the 7-minute games, I think maybe my biggest issue with them saying that on stream is when the guy Josh said it. He was like so proud of it, and I'm like, dude,
Yeah,
here you are designing. You're the designer of the game,
I don't
yeah,
think Josh
and
is the
you're
designer.
saying,
Josh isn't the
well, he's
designer, I don't
he's
think.
at no,
one of
he's
the
not the designer,
playtesters
but
or
he
one of the,
works with the
yeah,
designers. He
exactly,
works
yeah,
at FFG. He's
Well,
behind the game. He's
yeah.
not. I guess he's not a
yeah,
designer,
yeah,
but
yeah.
you get the idea, right?
He's got
He's
influence
like,
on the game.
yeah, he's got influence on the game for sure. He's like, Man, this brand new game that no one knows about. I just finished it in 7 minutes. You think you should maybe go back to the drawing board instead of
Yeah,
announcing it to everyone that
yeah,
this game
yeah,
can be done in 7
7
minutes.
minutes.
Like,
yeah,
I don't understand. Like, you would think after that happened, he would be like, "Man, hey," he would go to Danny, the lead designer, and say, "Hey,
yeah,
I just crushed this guy in 7 minutes because of this, that, and the other. Let's,
yeah.
take this,
Let's
that, and the
yeah,
other out of the game
yeah,
so it never finishes in 7
yeah,
minutes." But they're
yeah,
proud of it. That's the thing. If I was a
yeah.
player and I crushed Captain Shekaka in 7 minutes, like I crushed him 5 times last night in a row, our first 5 games. It was a great time. Like if I'm a player and not the designer, yeah, be proud of that. But as, a designer, someone behind the game, that's something that's a problem with the game and not something you should be bragging about, in my opinion.
No, no, yeah, yeah. Him being all proud about the fact that he beat somebody in 7 minutes. I don't think that's like even like the one turn kill decks in Destiny, you didn't finish in 7 minutes. It took you a while
One
to get
turn
through all those
kill.
cards, and
I mean, I don't know.
it took you a while. Well, one turn kill, you're basically trying to draw your whole deck, so it took a while to play all those cards to draw your
Yeah,
deck. Da, da,
well,
da, da, da.
I don't know. I don't know. But at the end of the day, they got rid of that out of the game.
Exactly,
That was probably
exactly,
just
and that's the
it.
point. And as soon as
And
they
here he
come like
is.
one turn decks, and he's proud of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it seems
Here
like
he
that
is
deck's going to be
flexing.
released.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh. Oh,
like if
I
that deck
would imagine so.
sounds like it. I mean, they weren't saying like, "Oh, we played the 7 minute game and da 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 da," and so now we're not.
Yeah.
We nerfed some things so that it's not going to be that way. No, it's more like, "Oh, I got a 7 minute deck." It's like, that's not fun. Yeah, that's kind of stupid.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
so let's bring up the whole Vader saber since we kind of hinted about it.
I'll let you go at that because this is your bag. I got some thoughts about this. I'll let you go on your rant first, and then I could course correct us.
So here's the thing. Again, Jeremy, the designer of this game, designer of Destiny, which
Co-designer, something like that.
yeah, yeah. Lucas did a great job. Jeremy drove it to the ground. Let's just be honest. That's what happened to the game. And so, one of my biggest problems with Destiny was an R2D2 unit, R2D2, or any R2D2 unit running around with lightsabers, three lightsabers hacking people apart. Like that's just stupid. Like that's just dumb, dumb, dumb. And the old droids deck where R2 would, you throw like Anakin's lightsaber in R2 and two other lightsabers in R2 and roll them in and turn the die and all this kind of craziness. It's like it's so ridiculous. And so I thought, okay, hopefully they're going to fix that. I'm not hopeful because Jeremy's involved, so I'm guessing like everything and their mother's going to be wielding a lightsaber, and of course that's exactly what we got. So and it said on one of their podcasts just recently that okay, cell block guard. What is it? The cell block. Yeah, the cell block guard. He could pick up Vader's lightsaber and do something with it. I'm like, that's so unthematic. I know, I get it. There's, you're trying to make it so that card's not a dead card in your hand. I get all that, and I understand that Vader gets it, and he gets to do 4 damage. But my problem is, how is a cell block guard picking up a lightsaber, and he's just as efficient as, say, maybe eventually if they release an emperor, Palpatine, and he picks up Vader's lightsaber, and yet they have the same proficiency. That's stupid to me,
I
and
mean, he
it's so
doesn't,
broken.
but he doesn't necessarily have the same proficiency. He doesn't get to do 4 damage.
Oh, I know, but he does have it as a cell block guard though, or better yet, not the cell block guard, but the Death Star Stormtrooper. That Palpatine picks up Vader's lightsaber and has the exact same proficiency as a Death
Wait,
Star
no, no, no,
Stormtrooper that
no.
never picked it up before. Yes, he does.
Wait. I just figured something out. I don't. Maybe they'll correct this. But as of right now, with the quick start rules, you can play that Darth Vader's lightsaber on the probe droid.
Oh yeah,
No way.
exactly.
As
That's
you
so
can. Because wait,
stupid.
let
Yes, you
me
can.
explain. Let me explain.
That's
Yes, you
so
Vader's
can.
lightsaber says,
stupid.
yeah, it says attached to a non-vehicle unit. The Viper probe droid is an Imperial droid. Now, maybe droids will be vehicle units. They might be. They might be.
It's not right now
Oh,
though.
FFG, you better correct that. You
Yeah.
better correct
So
that,
now
man.
the
Oh
now the
my
probe.
gosh.
So I'm sure their excuse, well, oh, the probe droid's got little mechanical arms. It could pick up a lightsaber and do something with it. So like,
Yeah.
How is that?
They
How is a
have to
probe
fix that.
droid? How's a
They have to
guard
fix that.
doing the? No, they won't, because it's Jeremy. He'll
What's
have 16.
I
And the thing is,
agree.
and here's what's so stupid. Here's what's really stupid. So you play the Vader saber on an Imperial Trooper, right? You swing with it with the Imperial Trooper, right? And you can play another Vader saber the same round if you have the resources on your probe droid and have it and have the Viper droid.
Isn't it considered unique though, or no?
Oh no, because
No,
when
so
you
this is
overwrite, you
this is
destroy. No, no, this is the wonderful thing. So you remember with Destiny, everything's opposite of
yeah, go
Destiny,
for it.
right? Everything's opposite. We can't have you can't have the same things like Destiny. So if it's unique, instead of you not being able to overwrite like you could in Destiny, no, because they got to do everything opposite. So now when you overwrite, per se, when you play
You just
another
play.
card, it destroys the other one, and you can play the other.
What?
Yep, absolutely. So you can play
Yep.
15 Vader sabers on Vader. Okay,
Just
literally,
you
but
destroy you get to choose which one.
yeah. So if you ever get Vader out, which you probably won't because it doesn't come until round 7. So
Yep.
when you play in 7-minute games, there's no way you're getting a Vader out. But if Vader were actually ever to get out, you could literally play a Vader saber, swing with Vader saber, all that, and then put another Vader saber on him, do another 4
That's
damage, put another Vader
stupid
saber
trash
on him, do
ever.
another 4 damage. How is that
Yeah.
thematic? That's
I
so
don't know.
It's
stupid.
not. It's
Well,
not.
even
That's an
even
They're
error.
I'm sure there's gonna be a Vader just plain unit that's not a leader. I'm sure they'll come out with one eventually, like they did with Leia.
maybe Baby Vader or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw you just played on him
Anakin
instead
or
of
something.
having to actually play it on Big Vader. So I mean, this is where you could play some some trash like Tarkin, or some other leader that's not
Yeah.
Vader. I
Yeah.
mean, that's jeez.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So here's my biggest beef with this whole thing is so like a Death Star stormtrooper with Vader saber does 6 damage to a base, but an Imperial interceptor can only do 3.
All right,
How
here you
is
go.
that?
Here you go. Here you go.
And wait, and the best part is they both cost 3.
No, Imperial
Yep.
Interceptor's 4. No,
Oh wait,
Yeah.
sorry, the interceptor's 4. Yeah, exactly.
here you go.
And the,
You can take
and,
let's
and, and,
take the wing leader for example. Okay, he costs 3. Okay, he does 2 damage and he has 1 health. Right. Now, granted, you
he gets
can
2.
give you huh? Yeah,
He gets 2
he
experience
gives 2
tokens, which
experience tokens.
that's
Whoop de doo. Who cares? Or
no,
even
that's really great
No,
to
they're
give him
actually
to
really
like
good.
Luke.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe
Ask
Luke or
Dad about
something.
it.
Yeah, but
Ask Captain Shekaka about it.
oh yeah,
About those
I'm
tokens.
sure it's good. But at the same time, that same unit, if you give those 2 experience tokens to a unit, is still technically only doing 4 damage and giving 2 extra health. Whereas Vader Saber gives you +3/+1, so you're still netting 2 damage and
Yeah.
I guess 1 less health for the same cost.
It's ridiculous.
That's
It's
just
absolutely
nuts.
yeah. It's
So
so dumb.
stupid.
Yeah. Well, and if you're smart enough and you can draw into or Leia Organa's the ground units late enough when if Vader were to actually ever come out, which he never does, but you can actually exhaust Vader, play a unit, exhaust him again. You could keep
Yeah.
exhausting Vader 3 times with those units. It's just crazy. So for
Yeah.
Just
You have
a
nuts.
too
two
many
cost
eggs in
unit,
one basket.
you can nullify their entire turn basically on a Vader anyway. Yeah, which is just seems. I mean, I'm sure there'll be reset cards eventually and all that kind of way, but right now it's just that's like. But let's talk about maximum firepower. That's a fun card, isn't it now?
Yeah. Well, first I want to say something about Vader's lightsaber and the stormtrooper. My take on it is okay. I get it. It can't just say Darth Vader only because I don't think that's a play experience, even like a good card to have in your deck. If you can only play it on your leader when he's deployed, so I think if you can play it on the stormtrooper, but it's not necessarily a good play, and I'm not gonna lose to it every game. Like I'm not gonna sit down and be like, oh man, I lost to that Death Star lightsaber again. I think it's fine in that situation. But when something so unthematic becomes broken, that's when I think it sort of crosses the line. Like if it becomes something really good, then I think it'll be something to bring up and to sort of complain about more. Now, before the game's release, I think we sort of have to give him I don't want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I think we have to say, hey, maybe Vader's lightsaber won't be broken on Death Star Stormtrooper, but knowing FFG, it probably will.
Well,
Well,
I mean,
I mean,
we only have like
I
what
don't.
10% of the cards too, so I mean, it's not like
Yeah, But I don't know why they said in their podcast they said, "Oh, we're not going to do unthematic stuff like a Jawa blowing up a Death Star." I'm like, that's exactly what you did, except for you haven't released a Jawa yet. You
What?
know, like well, I mean, you can literally have an Imperial Stormtrooper with a Vader's lightsaber, basically doing 6 damage to the Death Star every turn.
Yeah.
Basically blowing up the Death Star by himself. That's
Yep.
stupid. And so they literally said in their podcast, "Hey, we're not going to have Jawas blowing up Death Stars, but okay, what's the difference between a Jawa and an Imperial Stormtrooper blowing up a Death Star? Both of them are stupid. Like that's just stupid. Okay, I pick up a Vader.
Yeah.
I bet. So here's the thing, you know, a bunch of Imperial interceptors or TIE fighters can't outdo a couple of stormtroopers with lightsabers and destroying a base. Like, come on, guys, that's so unthematic. It's so stupid. Like, you can literally do
Go on to
six damage a round. I mean, in a 30, it's 5 rounds that you're gone. If you get two of those, if you get two of the troopers out, you could literally do and two Vader sabers. You can do swing, do six, swing again, do six, and then the next turn you can do another 9 damage. So you can do 12 in one round with two sabers and two stormtroopers. 12 damage, half the life in one round, and
yeah.
and with
Go
only
on. Talk about max firepower.
yeah. So let's get
Talk about
really
that.
stupid.
Get back into it.
Let's get really stupid now, okay? So like, okay, it's not bad enough. So let's say you get your two stormtroopers out, right? And you got a Vader saber, right? And then you get your 4 resources. You got them out last round. You get your 4 resources out this round, and you pull out your maximum firepower. Now it says a friendly Imperial unit deals damage equal to the power to its power to a unit. Then another friendly Imperial unit does damage equal to its power to the same unit. Okay, now here's the problem. So you play your TIE Interceptor, right? 2 health, or you play, some big character. Let's say you get your Luke Skywalker out or whatever. Again, a little stormtrooper can literally take out not only ground troops but can take out air troops with this card. This is crazy. This card's so ridiculous. I can't believe. I thought when I first saw this card, it was going to be like, okay, a ground troop could do damage to a ground troop and a air to air, but no, you can do it to any unit, which just seems so broken and crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't, unless, I don't know, well, unless they're making it so that it has to stay in the same arena, but it doesn't seem that
No, it
way.
doesn't say that.
It
Doesn't
It
doesn't
say that.
say
doesn't
it has
seem
to be
that
in,
way.
yeah, it doesn't
No,
say that it has to stay in the same arena.
no. So your little stormtrooper can literally take out an X-wing.
Yeah, it's done.
Two
Well, like
stormtroopers
for
can take out one
example,
X-wing.
yeah. So a Vader saber says deal 4 damage to a ground unit. The interceptor says to a space unit. That
Yeah,
just
this
says a
just says to a
unit.
unit.
So
Yeah, that's
Yep.
stupid.
and now they might after we crap on them, they might realize, oh, Cracked Ice Gaming is totally right. We need to put something in the rules to remedy this. So
Yeah,
hopefully they'll do that.
that's some trash.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
I don't know.
it is 4 resources though, so I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. It's pretty powerful though.
But it doesn't
Pretty
exhaust
powerful.
either of your troopers though, or your units.
No, it doesn't.
No.
No, that's the best part.
But
And
then
you don't take
another
any,
friendly
and
unit does damage
you don't
equals.
take any damage from it either. That's the other best part.
Yeah.
You just do the damage.
Yeah, but at the
That's
same time,
super broken.
it has to be
Like,
to the same unit. So I
yeah, so you
mean,
kind of got to go after it.
it
Like that's
has
what you
to.
do to their leader, basically.
Yeah,
I think so.
Well,
Anyway.
their leader, or like for example, like if say you got you know an Alliance X-wing, 3 health and with a shield, it's dead.
Yeah.
Two
Yeah.
stormtroopers, it's
yeah.
dead.
I guess that's true.
Bam,
The shields,
bam,
You know,
from Luke.
bang, bang.
so I mean, there's a lot of. It just seems like there's a lot of things like that really, I don't know, like some of these cards already just seem kind of a little OP for
Well, even
what they are.
like restore. I mean, it's the same thing as Magic the Gathering's lifelink, basically. When it it does damage, you heal from your base, which is just
Yeah.
so stupid.
You're playing Magic?
Yeah, Magic's actually pretty good. I've
You're
been
playing
playing.
Magic? What?
I've been playing Magic a little bit recently. It's actually not a bad game, surprisingly. I play
All right.
I play Magic the Gathering Arena. It's
And nobody cares. Continue talking about this trash FFG game.
I was just saying the restore is basically like lifelink, and it's a super stupid broken ability. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, because you could build entire decks completely around restore. Like,
Yeah, this games won't last 7 minutes, I'll tell you that.
oh man, it's
Yeah. I'm sure. Well, and that's the problem. I think that they're taking from other games, and so I'm sure there'll be decks that just do that. They'll just do restore. They'll just be a bunch of restore, and then you're gonna ping damage the rest of it or something stupid like that.
yeah.
And the thing that bothers me is like you can have these decks that are there's no it's unlimited, right? You can have as big a deck, you can have 200 cards in your deck if you want, right? There's no limit to the deck right now anyway.
Yeah.
So like, and I've seen some of these
Yeah.
Magic decks. They're like a foot high. It seems like I'm like, holy cow! Like,
Yeah,
and if you're
but
just
those
and if
ones
you're playing like
those ones aren't. I mean, if you're playing a lot of
Let's
cards like that, it's not very good.
let's
Eh,
phone in our magic expert, Crank and Chewy. Three
Look,
games of magic played.
okay,
yeah, exactly.
I have 22 and a half hours played of Magic right now. So,
What?
yeah,
Dang.
Is this
um,
your secret sin?
maybe.
Magic the Gathering?
I started playing it, and I don't. There's no other good card games to play right now. Lorcana's not out. Flesh and Blood's trash. Magic the Gathering, and it's online. It's a Magic the Gathering Arena, so it's. I mean, I just go and jump into a game. Boom. I have access to all the cards
Okay.
basically, and it's
Yeah,
what were we talking about?
yeah. I wonder what they have they announced.
Restore.
Oh yeah,
Have they actually
restore.
announced? Have they actually announced what the packs are going to be and all that? Like how many cards are going to be in a pack
No,
and
they
all that?
haven't even announced that yet.
No.
It's just
Okay,
stupid.
No.
I haven't heard it, so I didn't forget they had. But yeah, I wish they make some more announcements like that. Of course, it's still a year out, which is crazy. By the way, let's talk about their year out. Okay,
Wait, let me say
Jeez.
something before that. Let me say something quick before that. I think this is important to say. As much as we're sort of, crapping on the game right now, all three of us, we want this game to be good. We want this game to be fun. And that's why we're bringing up these concerns and these complaints is, we want these things to be fixed. We want there to be some sort of answer, at least FFG to address it and give us a reason why instead of just ignoring it. Like, we're not here just sort of laughing at the game. We all want this game to be good and fun. Now,
Oh yeah, because
continue
it's
crapping
it's
on the
it's
game.
it's gonna be the only Star Wars game that's a card game. Like there's no other real Star Wars
Yep.
card games. So
well, there's no Star Wars card game that's currently supported. I mean, by at least by
oh
a
yeah, I mean there's what this the
international.
Star Wars card game they came out with, but that doesn't. I mean that doesn't count.
I don't think that's. Oh well, yeah, the one that they released
Yeah,
The
that
deck
flopped.
the
building
deck
game?
building game. Yeah.
Yeah, the super
That's
crap
trash.
floppy one. Yeah, it was a horrible system. So yeah, this is what I don't understand. Okay, so we're at. It sounds like they basically have the decks done because they're playing the decks, right? I mean, every time they talk about it, they talk about all the cards they have. They're playing the decks,
I
blah
got
blah
all
blah.
three sets ready.
Right. Yeah. So like, okay, so why are we waiting a year to release? It doesn't like you're just printing cards. Like I can go out right now and I'm not a big company like FFG. I'm just a little individual. I can literally go out and I could print I could print 10,000
Little
cards if I had the money.
individual.
I could literally do that. I could go, I could
Little
go to a local
individual?
store. I'm just saying,
I'm
I'm
just
not
a little individual.
yeah. So like why is it
Dude.
so to me, it would make a lot more sense. This is my timetable. Like why don't you release this? At least the first two sets or something like that, right before Christmas.
Yeah, why not
Number
do it
one,
right before Christmas when everybody's spending money? Like
yeah,
it's so stupid.
here's the thing. Number one, I mean, you got all your distributors, all your people that are they own the gaming stores. They're looking for the
Yeah.
next best thing, right? It's like a
Yep.
bunch, they want to boost their sales and all that. So do it right before Christmas, right? Right, everybody's spending money. Everybody wants this under their Christmas tree. Then come like so basically you're play testing, doing your locals in January and February. Come March, you have some kind of event, right? Some kind of maybe regional events or something like that. And then come like May, June, you start doing your more national events. July, August, you kind of finish those up, and then come Gen Con again, bam, you can have your worlds.
But
that makes a lot more sense. Like, and I don't know why if they have all the cards, it's just printing cards. I understood, when Destiny you had to get dice from China and all this kind of way, but it's just paper and ink. Like, I don't understand why it's taking so long to get these the
I
cards
know
printed out.
why. Here's why. I figured it out. I just thought of this. With Destiny, everything was delayed. Everything was like a
yep,
month, 2 months, 3 months. Everything was delayed. With this game, I bet what they do is, like all of a sudden in a month or two, they're going to be like, you know what? No way, guys. This is the new FFG. It's actually releasing December 2023. We're
could you
totally not
imagine?
the old
That'd be
FFG.
so
This
funny.
is totally just a ploy. Now that'd be horrible marketing, but I guess it'd be better than releasing it next year, in my opinion. I bet what they do is they say we're gonna release it January after everyone's bank account is broke from Christmas. I bet they do that.
Yeah,
Well, it
maybe. Yeah,
just
but yeah, probably.
I don't
And
know.
oh,
But
I
they
think
have they said when they're actually going to release it though? Isn't
they
it?
said 1 year.
2024.
Yeah,
Yep.
but what time in 2024 though? Or no?
Sometime in 2024.
I thought it was like
Yeah.
quarter 1 of 2024.
No, they haven't said anything.
If they're not careful, what's going to happen is, a lot of these other websites that are, every time there's a card produced, they're putting it on there. They're going to lose this game to online.
Oh, they
There's going to
will.
be so many.
Yeah.
There's going to be so many online players because they're waiting
Hmm.
so long to release this game. Nobody's going to want to play it live
Well, even
because number
look
one,
at
they're not going to want to play the. They're not going to want to pay the big, probably the heavy. I mean, you got to get. You're going to have to have what? Is it three of each card you can have in a deck, right?
I
Yeah.
think it's 3. Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna have to have three of each card in it. An infinite amount of cards you can put in those decks. Like, how much are those going to cost? Like, trying to get three of each card. It's
Yeah.
gonna. And I know they said, oh, they're going to try to make it so that there's not going to be these rare cards that are going to cost outrageous amounts of money. But I don't see that happening. I'm sure there will be everybody. They're trying to make money, right? So again, there's going to be cards that are going to be those cards that are really broken that everybody's trying to get a hold of, and they're going to, that's going to jack the price point up, and so the secondary market is going to be something where this card's, may should be like $10 is going to cost $200, or $150 or $100, and so I think because of that, you're seeing a lot more people switching to
Yeah.
online because they just don't
Well,
want to
even
pay those
Magic
big
the
prices.
Gathering online. Just look at that. I mean, I would
If they
never.
keep push, if they keep pushing this out, there's gonna be so many online players. They're gonna be like, why would I
Yeah.
pay, $500 for a deck when I can just play it online for free? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, even look at Pixelborn right now. I mean, oh, did Sir Christopher say that there was like 700 players or something stupid playing Pixelborn?
I think they have. I think they have over. They had over 1,000. I want to say it
That's
was like a
crazy.
week and a half or 2 weeks ago. I think it was
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. He put in the Discord. They had over a thousand
Like
members.
Didn't Pixel, yeah, didn't
it's,
Pixelboard say he's gonna do unlimited maybe too?
I thought so.
There was a
I
poll he put up. I think
I
I don't
had
remember.
I asked him about it in let me see if I can find it. Yeah, he said he's considering it. Yes, it depends on how the Lorcana release goes and how complex the Star Wars game is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what he
Well, it's not
said when
very
I asked him.
complex. I mean, it's just cards. I mean,
No, I mean
like,
it's not
but
complex
I
at
guess
all.
it just depends on like the interaction of the cards and all that, because you got to figure out how to you know
Yeah.
Yeah,
how to how
it
to work
seems
that. But
pretty simple.
It's
it
not.
seems
It's not. I looked at because I was just gonna go and see if how how difficult it would actually be to build one, get a couple guys and build it out. But then no,
A
it's a
couple
lot.
guys, us.
No, I'd go ask some of my friends and some of my
oh yeah,
computer
write
programming
the code
friends.
for the game.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's
and
yeah,
it's I mean you can
good.
do it in Unity, which I think it doesn't the Pixelborn guy use Unity? I think he
I'm pretty
does.
sure. Yeah.
And I mean you can do it in there, but even then it's pretty difficult. It's
Yeah, I'm
not.
sure it is.
It's
I'm
not
sure it
easy.
is. But it's easy enough to print off cards and play it in Steam, play it on Tabletop
Oh yeah,
Simulator.
and TTS, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I honestly think, like, if they're not careful, like I said, they're gonna people just aren't gonna buy the game. They're gonna just like, why would I buy the game when I get all the cards online? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
and at this point, with a lot of these card games, are
Well,
gonna get to that point because they always make these, and that's the thing. Like, I think the problem right now I'm seeing with this game, and I wish they would correct this, is they keep telling us one thing and they keep doing another thing. So when they tell me, "Hey, this is going to be an affordable game," I really don't believe it. because it's hard to you can't tell me, hey, we're not going to have troops that are going to be like a Jawa blowing up a Death Star, but then you have a troop that's Jawa blowing up a Death Star. Like okay, so I don't believe anything you say. If you're gonna say one thing and do a different thing, then I'm certainly not going to believe it when you say, hey, this is going to be an affordable game, and yet
Yeah.
I'm sure every card game I've ever seen so far, there's always these cards that are outrageous, and if you don't have that cards, you don't win.
Oh yeah,
And
it's
I feel
like Flesh and Blood.
this is going to be the same thing. Yep. Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean,
And I get it because that's how they sell their decks. That's how they sell their boxes. That's how they sell their cases. Everybody's looking for those cards, right? So they can get their hands on them. And if they get those cards, which by the way, I think this is going to be a popular game. I definitely think
oh, I
Realm
think it
Arcana
will
is
be
going to
too.
be a popular game if you're smart. And this is a little crack dice gaming tip for you. Okay, we're going to lay some knowledge on you. What you want to do is you want to go out and buy yourself a first edition set of that Locana, right?
Yeah, that's
Get
so
yourself one
true.
box,
Just one
okay?
box,
You
guys.
leave it sealed.
You don't
You
touch
don't
it.
open that
You
thing.
don't
You
open
put that on the
You don't
shelf.
have any
You
kids. Make
hide
sure
it
you
from
got
your
no
little
kids.
sister so she doesn't get to it. You make sure
Exactly.
that when you put that up, keep it clean so that a year from now, trust me now, a year from now, when all that product's been sold out and
That's
everybody's
so
looking for
true.
that first edition box, and now it's worth $3 or $4 or $5 or $6,000, then you
Yep.
pull that baby out and you sell it on eBay.
Yep.
I'm laying some knowledge on you. That's what you want to do.
Well, even
And
the D23 promos are going for outrageous money. Like,
Yeah.
holy cow.
what is it, like 20,000? Was that the highest?
There was one.
I
There
don't
was
know.
one. There was one that actually had bids. I can pull up the thing. That actually had bids. I don't know if it's still. I don't know if it's still actually available or not, but it was over $5,000 with bids on it. Like
5,000, man. Who's paying $5,000 for a card?
I
That's
have no
crazy.
clue.
Do you guys want to all pitch in on that? See if we can't get that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm all over that one. Yeah, yeah.
Split it 3 ways.
Jeez,
Yeah,
a
no thanks.
$5,000 card. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well,
That
to be honest, I don't think
Well, it
online
wasn't. It wasn't. It
play
wasn't
is
just a
gonna
card.
ruin the
It was.
game.
It was the full. That was the full promo box. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like you guys were saying about online play, I don't think that's a big threat because
I think it is.
nothing's gonna replace. I mean, it is an extent to some extent, but I don't think it's a massive threat because for me personally, and I know a lot of other people in the community, there's nothing like going to an event, playing in person, like sitting at your computer and playing some random person online. That's just like it's not at that fun. It's not like super fun, but like gearing up for an event, prepping for an event, play testing for an event, and then going into an event with 500 people or something like that, like it was with Star Wars Destiny.
Yeah, that's
That's
awesome.
like peak memories, and going with some friends or some family or whatever, whoever
Yeah.
you game with, that those are like core memories. I don't have any like I'm using the term core memories from the one that Disney movie, whatever it's called. But like, there's no like core memories I have from like TTS playing by myself.
Oh, I do.
Or going to a Destiny event.
I do from Sir Christopher.
core memories.
Core.
No, I mean just like playing by myself. Like
Yeah,
or like
Yeah, you're
pixels,
playing by yourself already.
yeah. I get it. I get it. I get it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I
Don't
totally
get me
get
wrong. There's some great memories of Sir Christopher on TTS.
it. Yeah. Well, I think I don't know. I'm just saying. If they keep pushing this off too long and they keep releasing cards, and cards keep leaking out and rules keep leaking out and all this kind of way, eventually they're going to be so much pixel born or some other guy's going to put it together and have it. And honestly, I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying. I think it's going to be tough to get some of that base back if you wait too long. And I think if they
I
wait,
disagree.
if they really wait a year
Mm,
and keep releasing it, like I don't know, it'll be tough. It'll be tough. I think it's an uphill battle. Um, whereas I think you'd be better. I'm just saying. I think you should release it sooner. You got the decks. You got everything there. Release it sooner so people can play it physically, than to have to wait and play it for a year online. I mean, eventually there's going to be a tournament. I mean,
Yeah.
once there's enough stuff online, there's going to be tournaments online.
Oh,
People are going to
yeah.
start putting tournaments
Yeah.
online. They'll start playing tournaments. And okay, if I can play a tournament online, if I have to leave my house, I don't have to buy all the cards. It's going to be there'll be still a big community. There'll still be people. I'm not saying that's going to, but I'm just saying there's going to be people that won't play it in person because they'll
Yeah.
just play it online.
Well, I think even something like with Magic the Gathering Arena, why doesn't Fantasy Flight Games just do something like that? Make their own. You could monetize it. You could make your own similar to Magic the Gathering Arena. I'm sure it wouldn't be that difficult. I mean, this guy made Pixelborn with just a group of guys basically. So I'm sure FFG could go
Yeah,
out and
but
hire.
he's smarter than all of
Okay,
FFG.
okay, that might be true. However, I'm sure
Probably.
FFG could go out and hire somebody, make an online game, have it similar to Magic the Gathering Arena, where you open virtual packs even. Now it's virtual packs, but you earn in-game currency. So it's not. I
Right.
mean, you can use real money to buy
Right.
cards and stuff like that, but you also
Right.
just the more you play, the more cards you earn, kind of way.
Yeah. Kind of
But
like Snap, Marvel Snap.
yeah, kind of like Marvel Snap a little bit, and make it so that I mean, you can play online, I guess, and then that way they don't lose money to TTS or something else. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
that would make
No,
sense to me, but
I just wonder because we're in uncharted territory, to be honest. Like this is completely uncharted. We have no idea. I mean,
Yeah,
okay, so what we know for sure is this: Magic the Gathering was this massive game where everybody was playing in
yeah,
person, right?
hmm,
And then all of a sudden they started switching to online,
yep,
and it basically has killed the in-person gaming, right? I know there's still people playing it, but they went from prize supports of like $1 million or wherever ridiculous amount of money it was for the national champion to now it's way under that. No, it's not nothing like that. And the fan base, again, I think it's because once again, getting all those cards and having to manage those cards and buy
yeah,
the cards and blah 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 was such just such a headache that people are like, well, I can get online. Wow, that's way better. And
yeah,
so, and because of the post-COVID stuff, people are still kind of like, I think we've created this society where people aren't as like I want to come game at a place, right? And so those two things together, to me, I think we're just in these uncharted territories where now and to be honest, we've never had I mean, TTS is a fairly new thing, right? And the games are kind of already out, and
ah,
TTS,
no, not really. No, not really.
TTS
no,
isn't
no,
really new.
new as far as gaming online with card games, it is. Like, I mean,
Well,
new
I
in the
just know
fact that
because it was like that with Star Wars Destiny, and to my knowledge, the TTS didn't kill any of the in-person community of Star Wars Destiny. So why would they do
No,
it with Unlimited?
yeah, but you're also seeing that TTS Destiny came out and then TTS came after.
no, it didn't. TTS was
Sure.
before.
No, no, it wasn't.
Tabletop Simulator came out in 2015.
Oh, I know, but it wasn't. But the game wasn't on TTS until after the game had already been released.
Ah,
They were already playing in-person
Yeah.
card games before the TTS game was released.
ah,
Now we're doing the opposite. Now
ah.
we're playing online first before they release the game. And so my question
Well,
is,
I don't think that
this is
matters.
uncharted territory.
I
I don't know. I'm just
no
saying this
here
is uncharted
no no no.
territory, and I'm just wondering if this is going to come back and bite them in the butt because they think, okay, when we release it, people are going to be so excited because they've been playing online. They're going to come out and buy the cards, and I'm like, I don't know.
Well, if
Well,
you
here's the thing. I think the FFG. I think I would like to think that FFG could shut all the TTS mods down and shut all the if there's a pixel born for Star Wars Unlimited. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I'm not a
they can't,
lawyer,
they
but I
couldn't. No,
feel like they can't. Are you
nope.
sure?
I'm pretty. They talked about it in the Unlimited Discord. As far as I know, FFG couldn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You think there would be
Well,
copyright laws? It's a crazy thing, right?
No, because
Like,
I guess if they're not making money,
it's something to do with like the third party person actually just importing it into TTS or something stupid like that.
and since you're not making money off it,
interesting.
probably. Huh.
It's
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's interesting, but like, so like if you're the Pixelborn guy, and I mean, I wonder how that works. So if you're Pixelborn and you're somehow also tying that to some other income stream, but not directly, is there a way to make a
Patreon.
bunch of money? Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. But I'm just saying, like if they really wait for a year, I just wonder in this day and age, and because we have the game ahead of time online, and
Yeah,
going
that's the
forward,
problem.
I just really wonder, like, okay, if you're waiting a year when people are so tied into number one in online gaming, but also like we have to have it now. Like people don't want to wait, right? Nobody
No.
wants to wait for anything.
Well,
Nobody's going to need
people are
patience for anything
playing this
anymore.
game with 10% of the cards. Nobody wants to wait.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
We
Yeah,
are.
Pixelborn
yeah,
made a whole thing, and they don't even have half the cards yet. Like,
yeah, exactly.
there's
Yeah,
over
exactly.
1,000 people playing Pixelborn, and they don't even have half the cards. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, see, like, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Pixelborn and Lorcana when it releases.
yeah.
Now, now, granted, Lorcana has the Pixelborn's only been out for what, a couple months or something like that, maybe 3 4 months or whatever, and they're
Something like
releasing
that.
shortly after
Not
that.
even.
Not
Not
even, I don't
even
think.
so. If
It
there's
came
any
out.
so I would think if there's any
April.
impact on Lorcana from Pixelborn, that will be multiplied in this game.
Well, I don't think there will because there's only 1,000 people on Pixelborn. I'll
That's a
tell you
lot
this
of
right
people.
now.
That's a lot of people.
There's like I know, but there's like I think Lorcana has like 20 something thousand followers on Twitter. So I don't think Pixelborn is going to have much of an impact on Lorcana. And I
I
think
think it
the
will. I think it will.
I don't
I
think
know.
so, man. As far as like the sales, because
Well, maybe
the
not for the
majority of the
sales,
people
but
playing Pixelborn are gonna go buy the cards anyway. You know,
well, they
like
will.
like
But
you're gonna
but how? Okay, they'll probably buy cards for I don't know the first 2 3 sets. But how many of them are going to
yeah.
continue to actually just buy full packs like that and not just buy singles? I mean, there's no
I mean,
reason to not just go buy single cards at that point.
Yeah,
if you're still listening to us at
I
this
buy
point,
singles anyway.
let me lay some knowledge on you again. Okay, here's some more knowledge for you guys. If you're going to play that Lorcana game, do not, and I say once again, do
Yeah, don't
not
play.
go out and buy a case of that unless you're going to set it aside. Don't buy it and open it. Don't do that.
Well,
Don't
If
put
you
I
really
ice
want
in
to,
no,
these.
don't say
if
that.
you
Don't
really,
say that. You got to support the local game store. No, you can't just say that.
Support the
Yeah,
local
go buy
game
a case.
store, babe.
Support your
Come
local game. Are
on.
you against local game
no,
stores?
no,
Are you
let me
saying
finish.
to not support the LGS?
No, not what I'm saying at all.
Wow.
No, what I'm saying, that's what I'm saying at all. I'm saying, listen, if you want, I'm getting slaying some knowledge on you. If you want to play this game, because you're gonna have to have what is it, 60 card deck, right? And you want to play that
Yeah,
game,
it's a
you're gonna have to
60
have
card deck with
four,
4 of each.
four of each card. The way you're gonna do it is secondary market. You need to buy the secondary market. So I would say buy that from game stores in the secondary market. So yes, just support your locals. Hopefully they're going to be, I think a lot of these local game stores, what they should be doing is they should be working the secondary market, buying these
Oh, I would
boxes,
be.
and
Yeah.
if you're not doing that as a local game store, I'm sorry, but you're kind of missing out. To be quite honest. And I know a lot of them don't do it. I know it's probably a little bit of a headache and stuff like that. But honestly, there's a lot of money to be made because some of these cards are outrageous,
Oh, I'm sure
and you
they'll
can
be
get
ridiculous.
well, and some of these cards, like I know, like for example, Flesh and Blood, is a perfect example of this. All of a sudden, a card that was only worth $10 is now worth $200. It
Hmm.
was worth $10 a month ago, and if you're a game store, probably you have the one thing you do have is storage and
Yeah.
storage capability, so you can get cards from people like I know some people just buy, all your extras, or they'll sell their extras or things like that, back to the game store because they don't want them, or give them to the game store, things like that. Just store them. You might have a card that's worth literally $200 2 months from now. So anyway, I'm not saying don't buy from the game store, don't support your local game store. That's not what I'm trying to say at all. What I am saying is if you're going to play this Lorcana game, you really need to buy the singles. I mean, if you should buy the packs from your local game store because it's always fun to crack packs, right? But if you're unless you have infinite amount of money and you just want to buy loads and loads of packs and crack those packs and make decks, that's great. Then do that. Share those with the local community and share those with your game store. But otherwise, you're going to want to buy secondary market singles. That's the way that you're going to make this game.
What are we talking about Lorcana? This is unlimited. We're
Oh,
talking
here we
about
go.
unlimited. Yeah.
Here.
Here. Back to unlimited being a trash game, as we were talking about before we got on a massive tangent. Uh, Again, my biggest issue is the game just doesn't make sense. So, for example, I'm gonna give another example of this game just not making sense. The whole base interaction. The bases just don't make sense. Okay, so where is the base? Well, it's the command center on the Death Star, for example. Okay, so how does a TIE fighter, go into space and like do a space battle and then, go and shoot the Dagobah Swamp? And then, like I was saying with the back to the Death Star, your ground units are on the Death Star doing damage to the Death Star. And
Yeah.
so they're on the Death Star, they're inside it, right? And so if your space units blow it up, they're gonna blow up Luke Skywalker in the Death Star, and they're gonna kill your Luke Skywalker. It just doesn't make sense. And this game, from the early previews and what we have, it just doesn't make sense and they say they want it to make sense.
I don't know why did they just make? I mean, to me, it doesn't make any sense of the fact that okay, so you got the command center of the Death Star, right? And it's green, and it's got the the command symbol or whatever I guess on it. So why don't you just make one? Why don't you just make the Death Star the villain, and then make a second card because you're just printing cards, you're not printing dice or anything, and just make something that's a green rebel card. Doesn't that make more sense? You know?
Maybe they might do that, but still, it's still you can bring the Death Star and like
Well,
why
that's what I'm
can't they
saying.
just
Why don't they should just make that villain? Like you could.
that's a
This
Star Wars
this
Destiny term.
this crossover of with that there's no villains and heroes. It just seems so
Yeah.
stupid to me. It feels like they're trying to get rid of like, oh, everybody's a good guy, ultimately everybody's good, it's like this new theme of Hollywood and everything else seems like, there's no really
Hey,
bad
let's
guys
not
out
get
there.
political. I don't think
I'm just
I don't
I'm
think
just
they're
I'm just
going
saying
with.
well, if it feels like that. It feels like that because you could put, Yoda and Darth Vader together. You could put Darth Vader with his security, the security force troops with a restored arc, 170, and I mean that just seems so dumb to me. Like
Well, you
I
can't
just
play Dark. Well, I guess you can, but you have to pay the aspect cost,
yeah, you just got to play the extra aspects. That just seems dumb.
which is a horrible. You'll never play it because it's an extra two resources. You don't have that type of economy.
Yeah, but they were talking about some ship that was so broken, it sounds like, in one of their last podcasts. And they said, "Oh, this." They were talking about the ship, like, "Oh, well, we're definitely playing that ship." Blah, blah, blah." So whatever that ship is, it might be worth playing it, no matter who you're playing.
Yeah,
Just be willing to pay
yeah,
the aspect cost. I'm guessing it's the Falcon, maybe, but that's the one thing I do like about the space that at least I get to throw out the Falcon. Hopefully,
Yeah. Yeah. It's so stupid.
yeah, yeah. It's not worth playing space to play the Falcon, but at least if I have to play space, I can play the Falcon. That's what I'm trying to say.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I do. I agree with you though. I totally agree there that it doesn't make any sense to me. These the Dagobah Swamp that Vader can play and defend the Dagobah Swamp or all this kind of way just seems really goofy to me. Yeah, and
Yeah. I
I'm kind
is
of
that's a
I'm surprised that the bases don't do anything.
I think they will eventually.
eventually they will.
I'm sure they will.
Well,
I'm
I hope
sure they'll
not.
have some kind of abilities or something.
I hope not
You hope not. Why?
because then the Dagobah Swamp and the command center and the catacombs of Cadera and the Administrator's Tower are going to be all garbage.
But
But they'll
Why would
have
you ever?
less health.
yeah, they'll do stuff where they have only like 25 health, or there'll be some that has like no aspect, but it has 35 health or something stupid like that.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
that'd be right. I don't
Otherwise,
know.
otherwise there could only be the four bases. So, and that'd
Maybe
be
that's
pretty
why.
stupid.
Maybe that's why there's a 7 minute game. Maybe there's like a base that has like four aspects on it and like does some kind of function and it has like 10 health or something.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting when the cards come out. It'll be interesting to keep playing. Hey, we're going to be playing some TTS and streaming some of those games, letting you know kind of how this game looks initially. We will give you at least a taste of that if you want to check it out. Have fun doing that and watching old uh, former Mr. Anderson.
Trash.
Now, what's that?
Trash.
Yeah. Uh,
I ain't lost a game of unlimited Galaxy Shuffle yet.
now Chick Donovan crushed me once again, and well, in my defense, I haven't looked at the cards nearly as closely and studied all the gameplay as Chick Donovan, and so usually
Oh, the gameplay. What
my
gameplay? What film is there to study?
my learning curve is a little slower, but I'll eventually catch up and
Yeah,
surpass
maybe.
and surpass.
Sure. All right. Well, yeah, we're gonna sign off here. So,
Any final thoughts?
not that I got.
Eventually, hopefully, we're
maybe?
gonna get face cams, and I'll get a better microphone, so there's that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Be looking forward to the face cams. You can see our ugly mugs on the broadcast. Anyway, all right. Well, this is Crack Dice Gaming once again. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you had a good time listening to the podcast, and let us know some of your
I
comments
hope
and
they had a
thoughts in the
horrible time listening.
comment section. What you think about some of the stuff we talked about? We'd love to hear a little bit of feedback from your thoughts about this game.
See y'all later.
Spoiler D, FFG.
All right, give us a
And don't forget
spoiler,
to
FFG.
hit that like button and click to subscribe.